A big question the artists who come to me for promotion are asking is, should I still be releasing an album in 2024 or should I be thinking about singles? And it's a very good question, and there's a lot of different opinions on it, and I have a viewpoint which I'm going to share with you today. My name is Vince. I'm the owner of Very Simple Music Promotions. We deal with promoting various types of Americana music, Americana country, Americana rock, blues, and we're going to share some of the things we've learned in promoting our artists. Right now, the biggest question we're dealing with is album or singles. If you watch a lot of YouTube videos on music promotion, they're saying just do singles. Do a single a month, do a single a week. And for certain types of music, that apparently is the way to go. For the artists I'm dealing with, they've usually been used to working a year or so on an album of 10 or 12 songs and releasing it at a certain point. Now, the reason that all these YouTube people are talking about singles is because of Spotify. Spotify deals with music the best in single format, one song at a time. They're set up to let you deal with them, pitch to them to get into one of their playlists, one song at a time. If you release a full album, you still only get one chance to pitch one song, and then you're on your own to promote the other songs. Now, here's the thing. For most of my artists, Spotify isn't the only way that their music is put out. It's spread out over radio, streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple, and then YouTube. They all treat music differently. But right now, Spotify is kind of driving the whole thing in terms of how people deal with releases. If you watch a lot of YouTube videos about music promotion, you're going to find that singles is what is being touted as the way to go. I think we pretty much answered the question on why singles are considered important in music promotion these days. Spotify. Now, does that mean you should think only in terms of singles? And I would say no. If you're used to making albums and that's what you want to do, it's still a great format to release. You've got the other platforms. You've got Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube. They all deal really well with albums. YouTube is very flexible on how you can promote. Like I said, with Apple Music and iTunes, it's pretty much just there. You give your fans the option to choose whatever they want, one song or the whole album. Now, there are two other reasons that you really want to consider an album. First one is if you're going to be selling it. If you want to sell product, an album is still the way to go. And while there aren't as many ways to sell physical product anymore, you still have some options. And if you're entrepreneurial, you can do pretty well. I did a release on my label that we did a physical CD, and of the CDs I pressed, I sent most of them to radio stations, and then I think I sold the other half on Bandcamp. And it was because I had an artist that people were interested in supporting, and I made a good pitch for why you should support the artist by buying the CD, and people did. They responded. And if you're playing live, you definitely have a chance to sell to your fans or your audience. You can end up dealing with a physical CD like it's merchandise. It's your merch. If you're going to sell a t-shirt, you can also sell a CD and basically let fans know that this is going to support you. If nothing else, they can put it somewhere, look at it, remember you. But the main thing is they've supported you by buying something physical. And a lot of people will do that with CDs, just to have them, just to show the artist that they support them. Now, the last area I'm going to talk about is radio, and I consider that the main reason to have an album. It's almost imperative that you have a full album for a release to radio. Doing a radio campaign is expensive and time consuming. And if you're going to do one, you want to give yourself as much chance to succeed as possible. With a single, you have one song, one chance, and if they don't go for it, you have to start all over again. With an album, you get several chances. You send out a list that has your focus tracks, which are the songs you want the station to pay attention to and you think might be good for them, and you have that as a possibility. On a lot of our campaigns, we'll find that radio stations will find songs that we didn't think had a chance for radio. We liked them, but we thought they weren't radio friendly or what radio wanted. Never second guess radio. If you're doing something that's really interesting and unique, somebody will find it and put it on the air. And that's why I like having that selection for them to go through and then choose from. One other thing about having physical product for radio stations is, to a lot of stations, it shows your seriousness. You're in it for the long haul. You've got more than one song in you, and if they know that, they tend to look at you a little differently than someone who's just releasing a single. And finally, if you are releasing an album, you just have to deal with Spotify a little bit differently. One of the easiest ways, and the one we usually do, is as we're finishing an album, I try to get an artist to finish a song or two early, and we release those 2 months, 1 month out, and then it helps us build up some momentum on Spotify. And when we release the whole album, we've got some momentum, and hopefully we get picked up a little more for playlists and some of Spotify's editorial playlists. So that's kind of it as an overview. There's a lot more to it. I'll be doing more videos in depth on some of the things I've talked about. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified of future releases. So once again, I'm Vince. Thank you for watching.